Xavier, how are you, my man?
I'm doing pretty good, Franklin. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. How is your week going so far?
Pretty good, pretty good. Kind of transitioning into my full-time position. Just finished up training last Friday, so I'm kind of really getting the hang of it. Started to meet new people. Just really enjoying my new job.
So tell everybody about you.
Of course, yeah. From Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Recent graduate from the University of South Carolina. Go Gamecocks, um, for sure. And all my life, I kind of knew I wanted to work in medicine, whether that be on the laboratory side or patient care. So, kind of going into college, I stuck to a science route as a biology major, pre-med track, up until about my junior year, where I kind of thought that I wanted to transition in a sales role, pharmaceuticals. Very hard field to get into if you're not familiar with it. Um, but yeah, I kind of made that transition, kind of gave up the science side for a while, um, and went into that and had my first sales job going into the summer. Um, Made a few different moves, and here we are.
One of the pieces of advice that I will give anybody that asks me for it is have a sales job at some point in your life.
Yeah.
Even if it's just selling knives for Cutco over the summer while you're in college, you learn so many different transferable skill sets in sales. So, what was it like coming out of Carolina with a biology degree, going into sales?
It was obviously a big switch up. Kind of the whole field of biology. If you kind of want to work on the clinical side of things in the lab, you don't talk to anybody other than obviously some of your lab associates or some of the senior associates there. So kind of going into a place where I would have to talk to people and influence people on decisions that they may not want to. It was definitely a big switch up, definitely something I had to adapt to. But thankfully, it wasn't nothing too hard to adapt to because, like you said earlier, some good advice you would give someone is to have a sales role at some point. I'd like to add to that was. Um, I know for sure, at least for myself, I'm going to make my kids work in the restaurant industry, 100%, because I think that's also a place where you gain so many different skills and meet so many different people. So yeah.
And you paired that biology degree with that restaurant experience. And do you feel like those pairings helped you when you went into sales?
Yeah, I well, especially on the restaurant side, there's there's so many different times you can get a random curveball, wait the table. Some of the people you'll see, been times where I've come to the table and people won't even speak English, things like that. And especially when you get in those sales roles, I mean, the kind of things that you see are ridiculous. So I definitely think having that experience of kind of expecting the unexpected, especially in sales, is definitely a skill that people should have.
So you went into sales, you did that for a little bit, and now what are you doing in your new
So
job?
I transitioned out of sales, mainly because I felt that I kind of sold myself short on going to school for biology for 4 years, and I knew that there are great opportunities for what I learned at USC. So I decided to kind of expand my career search into laboratory side of things, and I came across a few opportunities, some hands-on, some not. I kind of wanted a hands-on experience, and that's when I found One Blood, which is a um, company, blood banking company out here in Charlotte and centered out of Florida. And my title's a biologics assistant. I work with filtering blood, separating platelets from blood, that kind of thing. Basically, a lab technician is what I'd call it. And yeah, I'm kind of back in my field, back in what I worked for 4 years for. So excited.
Putting that degree to use.
Yeah, for sure.
The interesting part about your career to me is you've done three really very hard things. You got a degree in one thing and then immediately got a job in the polar opposite of that.
Yeah.
And then you did that job, and then you switched back to the degree while moving cities.
Correct.
And that is not easy to do for any job seeker. What was it like when you were looking to move cities in your last job search?
Terrifying, honestly. Moving to a place where I had visited once in my entire life, moving to Charlotte. One of the main influences was actually my girlfriend. She got relocated here for her job. So I knew I'd at least, have someone here with me to kind of go through that with that process with. But yeah, it was a mess. Honestly, trying to do career search, trying to looking at hospitals, looking at doctors' offices, all kinds of different things. Um, because I come from a place in Myrtle Beach where healthcare isn't like you don't go to Myrtle Beach to work for some big research company. There's more sales jobs, those kinds of things out there. So just I've really expanded my horizon moving here because there's so many different opportunities. I would definitely recommend Charlotte to anybody looking to move somewhere.
So how did you find your current job?
So I found it on Indeed actually. Um, just looking up different laboratory jobs, found it on Indeed, applied. One of the simple applies, and the next week had someone call me. Um, had a in-person interview. Well, first just of course a phone screening, and then in-person interview, um, and then sat down with their board, and here I am.
Um, what advice, right? Because you've had two career shifts and a move already a year out of college.
Right.
What advice would you give to a new graduate coming out of college now?
My best advice would be I think a lot of people, especially in their senior year, get too caught up in the idea that you have to have a job directly out of college. I feel like if with going with that ideology, people tend to rush or kind of sell themselves short, um, and get into a career field that they maybe think that they could fit in, or there's a lot of people just think that you need that career out of college, and to that I say don't rush into anything. I'm a prime example. To 6 months out of graduating, I'm finally just getting settled into a job that I like. And I definitely think that someone like myself that kind of rushed their way into their first job, um, if I could go back, I would do things differently, of course.
What would you do differently? Would you tell me what you would do differently?
I would. So I would definitely say that I kind of got into one of those panic searches for a job. Um, Upon graduation, I knew I had to kind of look towards a field that maybe had a higher turnover rate, I guess I would say. Um, and that's how I kind of got into sales. But definitely, I would have taken the time to kind of not hop on the first job offer that you get. That's some great advice as well. I would definitely go back and understand what I could do with my degree. I think that's another problem that a lot of people have when they pick their degrees. Need to look into what kind of careers you can even go into. So I definitely wish I could have taken the time to look at my other opportunities. Um, Maybe even look into going back for something else grad school wise. Um, Definitely just slow down, slow
Yeah.
down.
Now, do you think you'll still go back to grad school at some point?
On the track that I'm on, I can do other things. Like there's some post bachelorate certificates I can get, um, that would allow me to sit and take certain exams to become certified and other things. I don't know if it's necessary that I should go back. Um, Only reason I could go back is to maybe teach what I'm doing one day,
Mhm.
at a campus or something like that. That kind of be the only sole purpose to go back.
Have you found a good golf course in Charlotte yet?
I've not, unfortunately. I'm still fighting some golfer's elbow I got going on.
Oh man,
It's rough.
I'll be down in your former neck of the woods next weekend down at Polly's Play in True Blue in Caledonia, and
Uh,
so I'm pretty sure I'll come out with golfer's elbow too, or golfer's back.
well,
When you have two kids and you're in your upper 30s, it becomes the back, not the elbow.
yeah.
All right, last question. If there was a song to describe your work style, what would it be?
great question. Song to describe my work style. I would say I don't know the name of that song, but it's like something about taking it easy. It's like
Take It Easy
yeah,
by the Eagles.
yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah,
I would definitely say that's a good one because especially in my career field when I'm dealing with stuff that's going to be injected into people eventually, working with blood. It's good to maybe slow down and take it easy.
that's a good one. I like it. Well, Xavier, I appreciate you joining me today. It was good to see you again. I'm glad you are settled in Charlotte, and I look forward to talking with you here soon.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you having me, Franklin.
Yeah, man. See you.